Hello everyone, and welcome to the game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Rikimaru, and I'm terribly sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Now he is in New Montana, a tier 10 US battleship. He is on the map Islands of Ice, in a 3-point domination game. There is a carrier, there is 4 destroyers, and the friendly team already lost 2, which is kind of a shame. So we have the ED here in B, who I think got torped. Which I guess shouldn't happen, but I mean, we all make mistakes at some point. He tried to take the cap, but he wasn't really too prepared for the torpedoes that come. When you look at the minimap, it looks like he was broadside to the enemy destroyers. Now, on the right side, we've lost the destroyer that's... yeah, it pushed too far, basically, into the enemy side of the map without support, and got taken out, which is not that surprising and not a very good choice on his part. But be that as it may, this game is far from over. The friendlies control 2 caps, and, well, the enemy only have the center. Now, Rikimaru here is, well, he wanted to go somewhere between A and B early on, and that's exactly where he still is. And he just got some very nice broadside shots into an enemy. And considering that the enemy force is retreating here towards the right side, those ships are showing a lot of broadside to his position. Now, technically speaking, he would want to go more towards B now, right? A is secured, that's why he's slowing down here. The problem is, if he turns his ship around now, then he has to turn his guns too, like he can't shoot those guys anymore, and it would be a shame to just let those broadsides slip away. So right now, he is probably trying to get as much out of his gun position as he can, and once they are behind the island, then he will most likely turn his ship around and sail towards the B cap. Also, like, this force here really should be pushing B, right? But what you don't want to do is have just one big blob. Now, I know there's a carrier around, and carriers, against carriers, you want to blob a little bit maybe, but you also want to create crossfires, right? And if you had all these 3 battleships just sticking together like glue, and they all have the same firing angles, and that's a lot, well, that's basically a waste. Now, there is, well, Yang, or however that's pronounced here, and that means deep water torpedoes. So, Rikimaru now has a bit of a problem, because the destroyer is exactly the position he wants to go at, and it could be unhealthy. Like, deep water torpedoes, you can't dodge, like, once you see them, it's already too late because they're so sneaky. Which means he kind of has to throw off the aim. And 5 overpens, that's actually a pretty nice hit, so this destroyer is slowly middle down. The friendly carrier is also helping here, which is pretty important. And basically what Rikimaru has to do here, he has to sail a little bit unpredictably and just hope that it throws the enemy's aim off. And with the help of the carrier, they can hopefully get rid of the destroyer. And then he can do what he probably originally planned and just move more towards B. And help take care of those enemies. There you go. So that's one problem there. Now, there might still be torpedoes in the water or not, we don't know. So nothing to be done about this. His nose is pointed somewhat in the direction of the destroyer, so it shouldn't be too bad if torps are coming. And now he can move to a position here, where he can create crossfires together with the Alabama and the Richelieu. Now there is a Shima and a Yugumo that the other battleships have to deal with, so they are not in the best spot, especially if they're getting cross-topped from those 2 destroyers. I mean, they could try to turn around and push around this side of the island, but it would put the friendly battleships all together. It would kind of...
concentrate fire on the designated target.
Well, I mean, the friendlies wouldn't have much crossfire now there, would they? But if they feel like it's too dangerous to push against those destroyers, they could totally go around this way. Because this island should protect them from getting too cross-topped. So I could see them doing that. But we will see. Now, unfortunately, their right flank is fallen a lot.
Enemy battleship.
There is one Yamato that's still floating there, but probably no longer. That Kremlin is already in retreat and... Yeah, we will see. We will see what the enemies do once they actually got the sea camp. Now it kind of looks like the Alabama is pushing towards the Shima, because that's... Like, you really don't want to do that. I mean, maybe he got forced in that direction by dodging torps. But obviously, in a battleship, you cannot hunt down a torpedo destroyer. Like, chasing him is just... You're going to sink sooner or later without doing anything. You have no opportunities to spot him. Well, unless, like, if he smokes up and you're a hydro battleship, okay. But, like, in a battleship, just don't chase a destroyer. The Alabama should either be sailing here towards B, or if he really wants to go straight south and around this island where the Colbert is, I could accept that. But like, I don't know what this guy's doing. So anyway, we have the Kremlin and our Montana here. We have the Richelieu that's still coming in, I guess, somewhat the right direction, although he's a little bit late. And it's not looking too good overall, because the friendlies are already out of destroyers, and that's never good. But there is a carrier, and that carrier can do a lot when it comes to spotting destroyers. The problem is, like, there are 3 DDs left, right? Who is he going after? The Harugumo, the Yugo, the Shimakaze? As long as this guy is trying to target a destroyer, it's fine, and it looks like he's chosen the Harugumo. Now the oh, he's also found the Yugumo. Well, I mean, I guess that means those battleships now only have to worry about the Shima. That's very important information for those guys, because they might have been wary about getting cross-topped. And look, looks like the spotting from the carrier might have helped sink the Harugumo, so that's nice. Oh, only 2 destroyers are left. Meanwhile, they almost got the camp, but they're getting interrupted a lot here.
Attention, reporting the target position. All stations.
Now, Rikimaru is trying to keep his distance a bit. I mean, there is no point in pushing into those enemies.
Torpedoes astern.
The friendlies now have both caps, so
Torpedoes astern.
I'm is kind of on the friendly side. The Alabama is still sailing in circles down there, like... I mean, even the Richelieu managed to get here, who was, like, way behind. So I'm not sure what the Alabama is doing, but, you know, maybe he will actually join the fight at some point. And there goes the Kremlin. Well, that's bad, but there is some potential juicy shots at a cruiser.
Concentrate fire on the designated target. All stations.
Well, I mean, they are whittling down this Bayard.
Attention, reporting the target position.
Now, there is a Yugumu over there. There is... what? A Yoshino, I think, over there, so there is still quite a few torps. It might be concerning. And more importantly, that's a big blob of enemies, right? And as I said, like, the friendlies are not necessarily in a position where they need to push. They really want to defend. So let's see. They should be able to take this cruiser here. And look, the Alabama is joining here. Now, he could consider turning around here
Enemy cruiser sunk.
and trying to face those enemies. Gotta be careful about Yugumo torps, I mean. Well, Yoshino might be too.
Concentrate fire on the designated target. All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Once again, if they have the Richelieu here in the center and the ships here a bit on the outskirts, might be able to create nice crossfires. Also, there's a Kremlin pushing in. You don't really want to brawl a Kremlin, I guess, in a Montana. Now, he switched to high explosive here because the Kremlin is angled. Unfortunately, the Kremlin is just now turning, so armor piercing might have worked better in the end, but that's just it in a battleship, you know, you can't, like, switch ammo that fast. And you know, that was a reasonable salvo. Now it's back to armor piercing, cause he has a broadside to shoot at.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target. Affirmative.
Now we still don't know exactly where the enemy Shino went. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for A at some point. The Shokaku probably shouldn't be sailing this way, right? Because like we saw the Yugumo was somewhere around the center, so it's unlikely that he's going around in the south carrier hunting. The Shimakase on the other hand, if the Shimakase goes towards A and the Shokaku goes towards A, then, well, yeah. That's not going to be very healthy for our Shokaku, no, will it? Meanwhile, broadside Kremlin, what does RNG say? RNG said yes.
We destroyed an enemy battleship.
Okay then, so next problem, Yugumo. Well, and Yoshino, so both of those are probably talking this way, so there might just be a little bit of dancing in the Montana's future. Damn it, they lost spotting of the Yugumo in the wrong moment. But hey, there is a Yoshino. Angle doesn't look too bad. There is a lot of potential in this salvo. Yeah, okay.
All stations, protect that target.
So, looks like the Yugumo is potentially rushing the Colbert. Not sure if that's going to end well for the Yugumo. Then again, the Colbert is on very low health. So he's pointing his guns here to help out. It could, like, hard to aim when you can't see the outline of the ship. So he could have shot a little bit sooner and oh... Yoshino got the Colbert, it looks like. And the Yugumo survived. That's bad. Now hopefully he might get another shot off. I mean, we have planes there keeping the Yugumo spotted. Is the carrier coming? Well, not yet. Okay, now here is the chance. Oh, there are also torps to dodge, but here is definitely a chance to sink the Yugumo. He's watching the torps though. Could have tried to take a shot there. But the carrier is coming. Like, sinking that low health Yugumo is definitely rather important. And there is a smoke, okay. So they probably won't see him. He's smoking because he probably saw the planes coming. Oh no, there is a chance. Yeah, I think the Yugumo is slowing down and not really sail. I think you expect the Yugumo to speed up and sail north. But the Yugumo I think is slowing down and hiding in smoke. So that's unfortunate. It looks like the carrier missed too. Like points-wise, the enemy team is slightly behind. Once he enters the B cap, the enemies won't be able to overtake them points-wise. So this is close. I mean, he can't cap currently, but like he's blocking the enemy points generation, and the friendlies are in the lead. So what the friendlies just can't afford now is to lose ships, which is really sad because the Shokaku is keeping to, like, we know there was a Shimakase here, right? Of course, the spotting information of the Shimakase at this point is maybe 10 minutes old, but yeah, the Shimakase is still, like, I mean, where else would the Shimakase be?
Concentrate fire on the target.
I could see the Yugumo running away, because the Yugumo is so low on health. But, well, like, no, we know he's in here because he's blocking the cap. So it might just still be in his smoke. So we know the Shimakase is coming this way. Shokaku is, well, undeterred. Let's call it like this. Enemy carrier is incoming. Oh, there the Yugumo. Oh, he should have. Would he have shot the Yugumo? Honestly, he should have tried shooting the Yugumo. Like, see this gap here? The way the Yugumo is going, would have tried sinking the Yugumo here. I mean, it just takes one shell with how low the Yugumo is, and it would just be so important to sink this Yugumo right now. Because they're going to need those points. The enemy is now blocking the sea cap, which means the enemy will just get the points. Well, they already have the points lead. And they will sink this Shokaku. So the friendlies really have to sink something. Even a DV-91 is probably, yeah, that's exactly it. Like, just because he's low on health doesn't mean he does less damage. There is the last strike from the carrier, and yes, okay, he got the Yugumo. Unfortunately, That's not enough to win. There is like 1 minute 20 left. How healthy is the Alabama? How's the Alabama looking? Not too healthy. Of course, the Alabama is... well, not sailing towards an enemy currently.
The ship is on fire.
And, well, that's a pretty healthy Montana there.
Concentrate
Now,
fire
their
on the
only
designated
chance... well, I mean, they got the B cap, but they are losing A here. Not that it matters. Like, if they sink the Montana, it would flip the points in the friendly's favor. But they gotta sink that Montana in the next 40 seconds, and they can't lose a ship. Now, the Alabama is sailing away here, which means it's unlikely they lose the Alabama, but, you know, it's a Montana versus a Montana. The enemy is pretty healthy. Like, if this enemy Montana rams, then all is lost. If he comes in here like nose forward, like there is no way the enemy Montana can lose, sort of. The Montana could just like directly go for a ram. But hey, he doesn't. So maybe, just maybe, Rikimaru can save this game. And... you know... that's a win.
Battleship sunk.
So here we are with the results. Rikimaru earned himself 2,344 base experience. And yeah, he managed to save the game in the end. He earned himself a Confederate, a Dreadnought and a Kraken, scoring 195,000 points of damage. So yeah, I found this an amusing game, especially at the end. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I'll see you guys next time.